Librios platforms aim to capture the whole publishing process, from importing content and updating it online to creating InDesign and EPUB files or displaying it on an end-user website. Online communities can be built up around the content, and access can be sold to individuals and institutions on a pay-per-view or subscription basis. This video will focus on the features behind a Librios platform. To begin with, all Librios websites are mobile ready, using a responsive design where the display, menus and features adapt to the screen size. Here you can see that when we reduce the screen size down to that of a tablet or a smartphone, the site responds with mobile menus and touch-friendly features. The Librios platform allows you a lot of control over the design of the site. You can incorporate multiple designs, features and permissions, which can vary depending on who you sign in as or how you set up the website URL. For example, here we can see a Librios platform that a user has signed into. Now we can access exactly the same site via another URL that has completely changed the design and features. You can create internal bespoke website designs and features for different types of users. Now we're going to look at how to get complex content into the platform. Here in the Publications area, a styled Word file can be imported by copying and pasting it into the platform. You can also import an entire EPUB, where again a web browsable publication will be created and the images added in a central image library. So when we import an EPUB or a Word file here, the platform reads in all the content, stores it internally as XML, and immediately displays it for browsing on the website. Once the publication has been imported onto the platform, we can immediately find it in the Publications area. Via the menu on the left, you can easily navigate around and see different parts of the content. If you need to make amendments to the publication, you can switch from browsing mode into editorial mode and update the content via this option in our menu called Content Control. The system has loaded the content into an XML schema-based rich text editor, where you can immediately see the content and make changes all on the web. As the platform is an XML-based system, you can work with style tags on if required, but can also use this very much like a normal word processing software. Here you can add and delete text, change the formatting and paragraph styles being used, or add links and images. In the background, the platform is applying the relevant XML tagging to the content. Extra metadata can also be added here by clicking on the More Information tab. You can add subject keywords and identify more information about this content to make it more discoverable and searchable. Once you've completed updating your publications, you may want to assign other editors to work on this content as well. You can do this via our Permissions area. This publication will then appear in the editor's personal dashboard, and they can be contacted using the platform's private messaging tool. Through the different stages of the editorial process, content can also be guided through a bespoke editorial workflow. When the publication has been completed, the platform can convert it into an EPUB at the click of a button. Additional EPUB metadata and cover images can also be added and integrated at this point. The EPUB design and layout is readily adaptable via the CSS EPUB template. Similarly, an InDesign file of the publication can be created. You can upload an InDesign template to the site dictating the book's layout and styling. The platform will automatically apply the correct InDesign paragraph and character styles, place images and apply object styles to them, and place multi-page PDF files. Librios platforms also support other features like tables, footnotes, indexes and cross-references that appear in EPUBs and InDesign files. Other ways of supplying content from the platform to other systems include Atom or RSS feeds that can be used by app developers, third parties, and WordPress sites streaming fully styled content with images. So we have now imported our content into the Librios platform either as styled Word files or EPUBs. The content is now a browsable publication that can be viewed on the site. The images are stored in the image library area of the platform, and we can begin to look at the features available to the end user. We'll look at the commercial angle a bit later on, but let's imagine we've sold access to this piece of content online, or we simply have access to it because of our permissions. The metadata added to the publication is visible here. Information like ISBN numbers and copyright messages are shown, as well as system-generated metadata like the number of images and the word count, which is calculated for the entire publication as well as on a chapter-by-chapter basis. We can navigate the chapters of the publication over on the left, and if we click on one of these we are taken to this chapter and we start to view its different elements. Firstly, we can see all the images that are in this publication, and as we move down the chapter we can navigate directly to them in the content via this carousel. Footnotes have been created during import and can now be viewed by the end user as pop-ups by simply hovering the mouse over or via touch on a tablet, whilst also being available at the end of the chapter. A spreadsheet of index terms can be run against the content to automatically create an index to use online in an EPUB or an InDesign file generated from the index codes with all the correct page numbers. If we click on the index button here, we have another way of navigating the content. The index markers now appear in the content, and clicking on them takes us to that place in the index and to see other entries that may be of interest. The index provides a very useful online method for linking terms together and allowing users to jump around the relevant parts of the content. By selecting a piece of content in our publication, we can create our own personal notes. By highlighting the text here, a pop-up appears where we can click on bookmarks and notes and add our own notes to the content. This could be a useful editorial tool, or if you're supplying it by a subscription or payment to end users who may want to create notes based on the content they're reading. We can colour code our notes and they then appear in My Notes. Within a user's profile, we can see all the notes we've added across different parts of the content, and they can then export these out of the system for future reference. If we look at the image again, we can click on this zoom button here, and the image is opened in a window where we can zoom in directly on the site. We can also access the metadata of the image by clicking the information button, and subsequently can click through to see further information in the image bank. There may also be other types of image that we want to store on the system. Here we have a 3D icon available, which when clicked shows us a 3D image, which we can navigate and rotate, and click on associated notes for the image. There are many other features associated with user experience. Citations can be created either by clicking on this icon here, or by highlighting a selection of content and choosing a citation type. These citations can be viewed, reorganised and exported out of the platform for later reference. Here we have the ability to watch content, where if an editorial workflow change is made, the user will be alerted of this via email to let them know it has been updated so they can come back to the site and see the latest version. We can add publications and chapters that we are interested in to our bookshelf. The other activity a user may want to do is search. If we search for the term Venice, the system will show all the places where this is mentioned. We can see here this particular piece of content that the word appears 16 times. We can see the metadata for the chapter and an extract of the content where the search term is appearing, and we can then click through to the chapter to read it in full. We can search for different terms within different fields via this drop down here. Once we have run the search, the system presents what's referred to as a faceted search. It has looked through all the keyword terms that are in the search results and has dynamically built up a subject index, allowing us to further refine our search by a certain category. Here we can choose the keyword Stones of Venice and rerun this search, and now the system is displaying results just for Venice and Stones of Venice. At the beginning of this video, we looked at importing content and how the content was added both as a publication and images being put into the image library. Here we can see the images that are in the image library. Again, we could search here for the term Venice and see the images that are loaded on the system to do with Venice. These images have been added automatically, but it's also possible to upload images from this point. We can upload a set of images via this option by pressing Choose File and selecting the image we want. We could also choose a zip file of images which would be extracted and added to the image library. In addition to this, if we wanted to bulk update the metadata associated with our images, this can be achieved via Spreadsheet. Some XMP metadata which is already inside the image can also be used to help populate the site. All the common image types are supported, including JPEGs, PNG and TIFF. These are managed within the platform. For example, we may upload a high-resolution TIFF file, which will be placed and sized automatically in the InDesign output. The system will also create a PNG version suitable for EPUB output and for browsing on the web. Vector formats, for example a map, can be stored in an EPS or PDF format, and this will be placed again properly into the InDesign output. As within our publication search, we can search within certain fields and refine via the search facet options, and we have sort options available based on the metadata. So, to recap at this point, we've imported our content, updated our content, created the ability to browse content online and view on any type of devices thanks to the adaptive, mobile-ready adaptabilities of the platform for online reading. We can create notes on any of these devices for my personal use and export them for future research. We have the ability to use an online index to help the user navigate the content, whilst also using this to feed the output to production files like InDesign and EPUB. Once we've got our content into the platform, the next area is monetising it. We can sell access to a whole publication or a single chapter. By clicking here, we are taken to a shopping basket payment area, which includes our ability to handle discount codes. The platform can be configured against a payment provider like PayPal, but can also provide the facility for offline purchasing, where invoices are created and can be managed via the payments area in the admin area. Another option available to us is by moving around the site to different publications, we can choose various pieces of content and begin to create a course pack, which brings all these pieces of content together to create a new product. So here we can go to a chapter and add it to our course pack. And once we've finished, we can look at our course pack and reorganise it. If costs have already been associated with these pieces of content, these will be shown. Additional notes added during the creation process can also be seen here. Once we have finished setting up our course pack, we can publish it onto the site and make it available for sale. A course pack that has been bought by a user can be accessed either via an online reader, including all of the note-taking, searching and other features described previously, or can be downloaded as an EPUB file, which is automatically socially DRM'd based on the payment details, and can then be read offline if required. One of the difficulties with selling different parts of publications from potentially different publishers is the question of royalties. The platform can create reporting showing exactly what content has been sold, from which publication and publisher, so that royalty payments can be worked automatically. The royalty rates can be stored against the publisher within the platform and calculated automatically. Another way in which we can create products for production, either out to an EPUB for selling on another system or to output to InDesign, is by moving around the site and adding individual pieces of content to my document maker. Once completed, I can view my document maker and output as EPUB, InDesign or Word document. It's a very quick way to try out new concepts for titles or for creating new titles based on existing content. Personal user content uploaded into the user's profile could even be included here, allowing for even more bespoke content creation. Another whole area of the system deals with bespoke content types. For example, this could be recipes in a cookbook, coins in a collector's book, or in this example, places, such as places to eat, stay at, or visit. If we look at this publication about the City of London, we have content, footnotes, dictionary definitions, and, much like the images earlier, where we created an image bank in which image can then be reused across a range of publications, here we are creating a whole database of places that can be reused across a range of publications. We see our normal publication content, but when I reach the places to visit listings, the system has automatically pulled out all of the relevant attractions for this part of the publication. If we click through to an attraction, we can then see where this place content is appearing and being used in various publications. The system has taken the metadata, for example the address, created a geolocation, and automatically created a map. As the location is now known, other places that are nearby can be displayed. Creation of this content is by many different methods. A Word document of the entire publication with the place entries in can be styled with the entries tagged and automatically created on import into the platform. Excel spreadsheets can also be created and uploaded, or entries created directly within the platform itself. Adding additional metadata, like keywords and categories, can help with searching and discoverability. When creating this content as an EPUB, we can see here content is placed and displayed in this simple example. When we reach our place listing in the book, we see the entry, imagery, metadata, and description have all been pulled through. As the system knew our location internally, it can show a list of other entries in the EPUB and their distances. The other advantage we have is that by clicking on this link, we can move from the offline EPUB entry and go straight to the online entry where we can view more information. As before, RSS and Atom feeds can be created for this content and can be supplied and used by other websites and app developers. When we have a bespoke content type like this, the system behaviour can be tailored. For example, if it were a recipe, the system could show other recipes that are related through categories or keywords, or, as this example shows, other places that are geographically nearby. The advantage here, though, is as this is a separate piece of content in the platform, it allows for an email to be sent out, an individual to sign into the site as the attraction itself and update their own information like their telephone number, their images or their description. This in turn also presents the opportunity to be able to begin to build a community around the content. As the content was already referring to a community with it, now we can actively engage with that community. This ability to build community around the content can be taken further. Features such as posting status updates and content creation can be performed by the logged-in place itself. For example, we could create events, news, blogs or images which are then added into the showcases in the profile. Here we are creating an event for the museum's example. Threaded discussions and commenting can be added, as well as features such as liking and pinning content and sharing to external social networks. The platform allows users and places to make friends and connect or follow one another. They can also send direct messages to each other. An overview of the profile interaction with other users is shown in the profile homepage, and an activity feed allows users to see what their connections and following users have been doing on the site. Within the platform, there are many content types that have already been pre-configured and are easy to make, search, and repurpose. Blogs, news and discussions can all be created, commented upon, and shared to social networking sites. Users are able to make jobs and add them to their favourites or apply for them directly on the site. They can request to join groups and create special content visible only to that group. The platform's moderation tools ensure that user-created content can be checked before being made public on the site. Events can be created and searched on a variety of metadata, and a calendar view allows for easy navigation. Events metadata encourages users to include additional information like location, date range, and times. Users are able to purchase tickets for themselves or other colleagues in their company. Different types of tickets, like 1, 2, or 3-day attendance for a 3-day conference, can be created, sold, and managed via the site. Users can export attendee lists with information including addresses, emails, or even dietary requirements, and invite other connections on the platform. The system also auto-archives events as they pass their active dates. Another area of the system allows you to integrate into your content the ability to ask questions and score answers. For example, if a chapter in a publication was about a certain technique in needlework, we could ask questions at the end, and the user could see how well they've understood and answered them. These can be incorporated with CPD points and displayed on leaderboards. Within the platform, users can purchase access to content directly or via subscription. Here we are in the shop purchasing a 1-year subscription to a series of content. We add it to our basket and go to the checkout area, and here we can apply a discount code. As we move through and complete an offline purchase, Librios records all account and online payment transactions, including this handling of discount codes, made from the website with online payment providers like PayPal. In the admin area payment pages, we can update account or offline payments and create reports to track invoices by user, status, and over a chosen period, then exporting in a CSV format. The platform emails a confirmation invoice to the recipient, which we can see here. We also store this information at user level within the My Payments area of a user profile. From this area we can also configure the discount codes and tax rates. An admin area where access is configured via role permissions is an area that allows administration over user profiles, all content types, newsletters, payments, site reporting, web analytics, and site design and setup. With the reporting and analytics, all the activity on the system is recorded, allowing us to create analytics reports that can be output to spreadsheet. Reports can include what are the most popular publications, the most popular pieces of content, user activity, and who is using the site the most. In addition, the system integrates with Google Analytics, allowing all the power that this feature brings. With the site's ability to integrate with e-commerce, there are facilities to report on payment, cancelling invoices, and creating reports on royalty payments. To sum up what this video has looked at, the Librios platform is designed to cover the whole publishing process, from importing content, updating that content online, through to creating InDesign and EPUB files, whilst having the ability to create communities built around the content. Finally, there's the option to sell the content online at both an individual level and to institutions.